Hey there, it's Megan here. How is everyone doing in the Structured Freedom for Impact Driven Coaches community? How are you? Happy Monday. Happy beginning of a brand new month of August. I'm so excited for what this month is going to bring, and I know you are as well. So come on in. Let me know in the comments if you are here live. Just put a hashtag live, and I'm sure so many of you are going to be catching the replay, which is also awesome. So let me know if you are catching this in the replay. Just drop a hashtag replay down in the comments below and let me know where you're tuning in from. We have so many people from all over the world in this Facebook group community. I don't even know how many countries. I think it's over 30. So let me know where you are tuning in from. If you are tuning in from a certain state or city in the United States, drop that in the comments. If you are joining us from a completely different country outside of the US, then drop that in the comments as well, so we all know where each other is. And you know, I have actually met people online through other people's posts who literally live down the street from me and they're in the same industry, and we've become amazing friends. So that is so cool. Awesome. I'm so excited for today's content. I've got a question for you. How would you like to have a way that you could powerfully and in a more simple way launch and leverage your high ticket group coaching offers? Would you like that? If you're here, if you're even in this Facebook group community, more than likely you're a coach, because that is who we serve here. That is who I help in my programs. And I also focus on helping you create, market, sell, and deliver your group coaching program. So that is what my expertise is in. And I love, love, love teaching my launch strategy that I call Launching Made Easy Framework. So that's exactly what we are going to talk about today. I'm going to unpack for you how the Launching Made Easy Framework works, that you can be deploying right inside of your own Facebook group community on repeat over and over and over and again, 12 months out of the year. You're going to do this multiple times. I'm going to talk about the frequency of how often you're going to do it. My clients who do this they're having 5-figure launches. I even have a client who's done around $75,000 to $85,000 in 2 back-to-back launches. And a little secret, I even have a decent number of my colleagues who have been watching me do what I've been doing for over a year now with this particular framework, and they have been asking me to teach them how to do it in their own businesses. These are people who are already at multiple 6 figures, and they're looking for a way to launch and fill their group coaching programs that does not require them to have their cart open for like a whole entire month, or they have to have a whole bunch of funnels and bells and whistles and all these moving parts and complicated technology and these massive teams. They're looking for a way that is easier on them, easier on their team, easier on their audience, and is really anchored and rooted into human connection and building relationships. So let's go ahead and dive in. I have 8 or 9 kind of like steps or points that I want to make, which is really going to show you how the Launching Made Easy framework is quite different from a lot of the ways that you have seen other people launch in the past, and perhaps how you've been launching your own programs as well. So hey Tiffany, I see you on the East Coast of Florida. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's dive in. Point number 1, and this is the most important thing. So earlier on my Momentum call, I've run a program called Momentum. It's our signature 6-month program where we are working with coaches to help them create and launch their own group coaching programs and create 6-figure stream of income just through that one flagship group program alone. And one of the things that we talked about a lot today was the difference between strategy and tactic. So this Facebook group that we are in right now, we're interacting inside of a Facebook group. You're interacting with me. I'm interacting with you right now in the form of a Facebook Live. Both of those are tactics. Those are not strategies. And every tactic works, right? So Facebook groups work, Instagram works, private messenger works, email works still, yes. Having a podcast works. Writing articles to be featured in magazines, or like getting a spot on a TV show works. Launching works. Doing 5-day challenges work. Having a blog works. Having a YouTube channel, it all works. Webinars work. Everything that anybody teaches you out there about tactics or whatever tactics they're teaching you, they all work. So why might you be using some of these tactics, but you're not where you desire to be yet in your business? A big piece of that is there's a lack of strategy in place. So point number one is you've got to nail your message. The Launching Made Easy framework, and really any tactic, anything else that you're gonna learn how to do to attract leads, to sell your programs, the messaging is like literally the most important thing for you. If you don't have the message that resonates with your ideal client, that is relevant to your ideal client, then they are going to skip over you and they're gonna go find somebody who helps them feel seen, heard, and understood by using the same words that your ideal client uses to describe these two main things. The number one problem they're experiencing right now that they want to find a solution for, and the number one most urgent result that they want right now. That is really important. If you're going to write anything down about message, jot down number one, jot down message. If somebody on here live wants to take notes in the comments and keep up with it for everyone else to see, totally go for it. So point number one is message. And the way that you craft your message is knowing who your ideal client is, speaking to their number one top problem they're experiencing that they're thinking about all day, every day, obviously as it relates to your body of work and your area of expertise, and the number one result that they want right now. Not a result that they want a year from now, not a result they want in 30 years, but what's the result they want right now? So the more we try to go broad and general and water down our message, that's where ideal clients are literally sitting inside of your Facebook group right now. They are following you on your personal Facebook profile. They are connected to you on your business page. There are ideal clients circling around you all the time, every single day. And they're skipping over your content because your message is not relevant to them. That is really, it's not resonating with them at all. So message, when you are launching your group coaching programs, is critical. Your message is going to actually bring people into your launch. Your message is what's going to carry them through the launch. And your message is what's going to actually sell your program so that those ideal clients are buying from you. So you want to spend a good amount of focused strategic time honing in on what your message is. I really believe that most of you actually know what your message is, and there is an underlying, probably subconscious reason why you're not letting yourself just say what you really want to say to the people that you really want to say it. Even if you're already making six figures, I still see at the six-figure and multiple six-figure level, one of the biggest areas for us to do some tweaking and shifting is with that client's message, even at that level. So that's point number one. Point number two, the Launching Made Easy framework very much hinges on you focusing on human connection and building relationships. So this is what I probably love the most about helping people launch their high-ticket group coaching offers in this way. Kind of like the old-fashioned way, which it's not like it's old-fashioned, it was just like the first way that everybody was taught how to launch their online courses and expert programs. Jeff Walker was one of the first guys in our industry who came up with that formula. He calls it the product launch formula. And he developed it in the early 2000s. I think it's like 2002, 2003. And it was teaching you how to launch, but it was all through pre-recorded videos and emails, which creates a whole lot of distance in between you and your audience, your community, your ideal clients. And what we know to be true, now more than ever, your audience is going to connect with the coach and the leader who is building a relationship with them, who is meeting them where they are at, who is having conversations with them, who's engaging with them. And so when I teach the Launching Made Easy framework, instead of shooting pre-recorded videos and having 72 pre-written emails and trying to sell people through your emails and your content, your written content, you're going live just like this every single day for a series of days. I teach the whole entire framework inside of my Momentum program. And you're showing up in front of your audience just like we're doing now. You can ask them questions. They can be commenting in the comments, and you're really getting to know who your audience is. And you also want to look at this from the perspective of your ideal audience. When your audience can interact with you in this way, where you're teaching them, you're coaching them, you're leading them, you're guiding them, you're having back and forth communication with them through the Facebook Live, they're in your Facebook group, so this whole time you're launching, you are right in there in the trenches with them. In a really, really condensed short period of time, your ideal clients are able to see what it's like to actually work with you. So just imagine if you wanted your email list to try to make a decision to buy your $5,000 6-month group coaching program solely through you writing a bunch of emails. So they can't see your face, they're not hearing your voice, they don't get a sense of how you interact with people. You're not able to really ask them questions and get immediate feedback, which means you're then not able to course correct. And you're expecting them to read a series of emails to make a $5,000 decision. So do you see how there's a lot of degrees of separation between the ideal client and you? So when you go live using this framework, you are tapping into relationship building. And something that I talk to my clients about a lot is playing the long game, not the short game. Everybody wants instant gratification. Everybody wants to just like randomly send out an email or make a post and make $10,000 from it. And that can happen, but that's not going to happen if you're not focusing on building relationships with people. So what this framework does is it's removing all the barriers in between your ideal client and you. They can hear your voice, they can see your face, they can ask you questions. They're getting to see what your personality is like, and you're really showcasing to them like, hey, if you want to work with me, this is what the vibe is going to be like inside my program. Versus what happens to a lot of people when they buy programs, they're buying from pre-recorded videos that were professionally shot with a teleprompter, or they're buying from emails, and they get inside of the program and they don't like the coach, or there's a personality clash. When you're launching your programs in this way, you are eliminating a lot of that from the whole process. Okay, next, point number 3. In order for this process to work, really just like anything in your business, you want to make sure you're attracting the right leads. So we need to talk about lead generation. I teach my clients to promote, this is also different from what they teach you in like regular internet marketing. I promote my free 5-day masterclass. I've got one coming up next week. I promote it for a minimum of 2 weeks out. My preference is to promote it for a full 3 weeks. You could even promote it for a full 4 weeks. So you want your ideal audience to feel like they're being invited to like this big event, almost like it's a party. And the longer you give yourself to be inviting the right people in, the more you are building the relationship with them, and you're building up the excitement for them to show up live. So it's one thing to promote something for free. It's another that the right people are coming and that the right people are consuming. And it really is our job, it's your job as the leader to train your audience how to be committed, how to get results, how to show up. And look, I was a high school teacher. That was my first career. And you'd think that working with kids, you have to be a certain way, and it's like completely different than how you are with adults. And one of the things that I've really had to learn kind of the hard way is that you really do have to kind of walk adults through, here's what it's actually going to take and here's what it actually looks like if you want to have success. You can't just sign up for free stuff. You can't just buy the program, but it has to become a way of life for you. So that 3 to 4 weeks or 2 weeks when you're promoting and you're inviting those leads in, it's giving you the opportunity to also train them how to put this in the calendar, how to come and consume the content, how to show up in the content, how to take the action once they are in. Don't forget that piece. It's not just about inviting a bunch of people in and having this big number, because you could have 500 people sign up for your launch, your 5-day masterclass, and only 100 people actually show up. And if we look at the content and the training that was given to those people leading up to that, Where the boat was probably missed was on training them how they had to actually show up. Don't assume that just because someone is an adult and they gave you their name and email, don't assume that they're actually going to show up and consume. And the only way you're going to make sales is if they show up and they actually consume. Where do those leads come from? Well, I don't even do paid advertising. My Facebook ads account got shut down. 4 different accounts have been shut down since December. So I've pretty much built my entire business organically. This is where you're using the power of your personal page and your business page. So you want to make sure that the content you're creating to promote your launch, to promote that free live virtual event, it is speaking directly to your ideal client. So you want to spend some time strategically thinking through, what am I actually selling at the end of this? Based on that, what makes sense for me to, what content should I be teaching in my 5-day masterclass? Well, based on those 2 things, what's going to actually draw people in? The other thing I want to touch on really quickly, write this down because this will be really key for you. I find that one of the things I notice when coaches are creating content, in all, like everywhere they're creating content, they're just talking to one type of, that's the wrong word. They're talking to people as if they're all at the same point in their journey. And your ideal audience actually goes through different phases in their journey. And what I find oftentimes is that coaches are trying to sell to everybody. They think everybody watching them and everybody in their audience is ready to buy. And that's not true. Actually, only about 3% of your audience is ready to buy. So if you get a bunch of people in your launch and they are not ready to buy, the likelihood of you like crushing your numbers, it's going to go down a little bit. So there's 3 different categories of people. One category is your audience becomes problem aware. That means like they have identified, I have a problem and this is the pain it's causing. Sometimes I find that in coaches' content, they get into this place where they're trying to convince people that what they teach and what they coach on is what someone needs. And you don't want to get into convincing mode, because if you're talking to a group of people and you feel like you're having to convince them that what you have to offer is of value, you're talking to a group of people that are probably still in that like problem aware stage, and some of them don't even know why they have the pain they have or why they have the problem they have, or that the 2, pain and problem, are even associated. If that's who's in your world and that's who you're trying to sell to, that's one of the main reasons why people are not buying from you. So you've got your problem aware people. Then we move them into the phase of becoming product aware. This is where someone is really learning about you and specifically learning about your process. Like, what is your signature process that you are taking people through? Your ideal audience, your ideal client, they want to know that you have got a step-by-step system or phases or stages or something so that you can take their hand from Pain Island and walk them all the way down to Pleasure Island. People are not going to buy if they do not know that you have already got that figured out. So that's like the second phase where people are at. They're product aware. They know that you exist. They know that you've got some sort of system. They know that you've had clients, that you've had client success. They're already aware of their pain and their problem. And this launch strategy that I teach is really moving people from that product aware phase to I'm ready to buy phase. That means they are solution aware. And the process I teach allows you to move people into that phase really, really fast. And that's actually your job. Your job as a coach, as a marketer, as a salesperson, it is actually to move people from being problem aware to product aware to solution aware. So you want to make sure that your content is taking people through all of those phases. Again, if you're just talking to people who are solution aware, you're missing out on 97% of your audience because only 3% is actually ready to say yes. All right, point number 4. During your launch, so my strategy that I teach, you are going live for multiple days in a row. In the first 5 days, which I teach to do on a Monday through Friday, you are crafting content each one of those days that is leading your ideal client to the sale. So you want to make sure that the content you're teaching each of those 5 days, by the time you get to the point where you invite someone to join your high ticket group coaching offer, It is a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. So here's how I like to describe it. Your program, your paid offer, the thing that people are buying, this is where you are doing like your true transformational work. This is really where you're taking people from pain island to pleasure island. You're helping them get a result that they desire a solution for. So I want you to look at your program like it is the horse. What you're teaching in your 5-day masterclass or your launch, that is the cart. And what you want to help your audience realize is that, okay, in these 5 days, I'm going to help you take a little bit of action each day. But when we get to the end of the 5 days, you're going to have your cart built. But a cart without a horse doesn't move. So your program needs to be the wheels. It needs to be the horse that hooks up to the cart, and it gets them to take further action and get into momentum to actually get the result and to implement. That's a really great way to describe this. So I'll use what I do as an example. So in Momentum, that's my signature 6-month group coaching program. I work with coaches who are at a point in their business where they're ready to be offering group coaching programs. So I teach you how to create it. I teach my Launching It Easy strategy so that's how you're marketing your program. It's how you're selling your program. And then I work a lot on how to actually deliver on what you sold inside of your group program so your clients have a really great experience. That's what's in the paid program. I'm teaching you the marketing and the sales and the delivery of it. In my 5-day free masterclass, Group Coaching Mastery, I'm helping you craft an irresistible group offer. Because if you don't have an irresistible group offer and your offer sucks and you don't have the right messaging around that and you don't know who the right person is for that, it doesn't matter how much you go market and sell it, it's not going to work. So you need the horse so that cart, that irresistible group coaching program, for those of you who are ready to be in it to win it, go all in and implement and take action over and over and over again until it works, that's who joins Momentum. And in fact, I'll stop right here, I'll pause. My Group Coaching Mastery Masterclass starts next Monday, and we change things up a little bit. So this time, I'm not hosting it inside of this Facebook group. It's actually being hosted inside of a private group just for people who are a good fit for that. It's totally free. I could easily charge $1,000 for this. I'm teaching you literally my best stuff when it comes to creating an irresistible group coaching offer, and we are taking applications for that. It's super. Don't get like all like your, don't get your feathers ruffled because there's an application. It's really easy. So when you go, I'll pop the link in here in the comments. When you click the link, you're going to go to an opt-in page. You're going to click apply now, and it's going to take you to private messenger. I have a bot set up. The bot is going to ask you a series of questions. It's about 10 questions. They're going to come one right after the other. When you start the application process, finish it. Don't just like answer one question. If we think you're a good fit, meaning we think you're at a place where our program actually works for you, or that you're at a place in your business where group coaching is the next step for you, we're going to let you in. Ethically, I'm not going to accept people into the 5-day masterclass if your business is not already set up and it's not at a place where it makes sense for you to do group coaching yet. So fill out that application, tell us about your business. It's going to be a really amazing experience. It's also going to be really, really intimate, so I get to be like right there with all of you inside of that Facebook group. I'll pop a link for you to go and check that out as soon as I'm done here. Okay, let's keep moving. Next point, make sure you have a high ticket offer. Make sure you have a high ticket offer. So here is one of the biggest mistakes I see coaches making. And I don't know who teaches this stuff or why people think that this is like the best way to approach your business model. So you want to always start out, in my opinion, it is always best to start out coaching people one-on-one. When you coach people, and I'm not saying like you've got to do that for years. You could actually do it in 3 months and then be ready for a group. You want to coach people one-on-one because it's helping you figure out your message. It's helping you figure out your signature system. It's helping you figure out like what's the process that really works well with your client when you're working with them. Once you've got a few of those under your belt and you've helped a few of them and you have success stories and you've got some experience selling, then your next step is create a high ticket group, not a course, not a low price point course. That's a whole nother training to do. But when I say high ticket, depending on what your promise is and what your niche is, High ticket means somewhere in the range of about $3,000 to $10,000. Kind of like a real sweet spot for group coaching programs is right around $2,500 to $7,500. So when I say high ticket group coaching, that is not a course. That is not a 6-week course. So what a lot of folks are doing is in their mind, they're telling themselves, I just need to give people a taste of me. I'm just going to put them in like a 4-week or a 6-week course. I'm going to charge $397, and then all those people are going to join my next level program that costs $3,000. It does not work that way at first. Now, you might say, well, I see all these other people doing it. That's because they're probably already making high 6 figures or 7 figures in their business. So you want to start out with some one-on-one, then you want to move into your group, but you need to have enough one-on-one experience that you've got success stories with your clients, that you actually know what you'd be selling in a group anyway. And do high ticket. Do high ticket. People are also going to get better results. That's the other thing I really want to stress here. The likelihood of someone getting amazing results in your 4-week or 6-week course is slim to none. And you're at a place in your business where you want to have people in a much longer container of at least 90 days to 6 months. That's going to give you an opportunity to help more people go deeper and get a better result. That's better for you as a business owner, and it's better for them. So the key here with this framework, don't go do this whole framework and go sell a $497 course. Go use this framework to sell something for $3,000 or more. It works for the other. But depending on where you're at in your business, if you're going in the direction of a group, make sure you're clear on what a group coaching program really is. It is not a course. It is not a 6-week course under $1,000. Groups are very different. All right, next. In the Launching Made Easy framework, you also want to ensure that you are closing the sale. So one of the questions I get all the time is, why do I have to go live for 9 days? And again, I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritty of what the whole entire process looks like. I teach that inside of my program. But you're actually going to go live for 9 days. So you're teaching your methodology, you're helping them take action, you're giving tons of value the first 5 days. And you're going to transition into inviting people to join your program on day 4. But what a lot of people want to do is they want to stop on day 5. Well, when you stop on day 5, basically what you're doing is you're not following up with people. And the fortune is in the follow-up. So I teach a process on the back 4 days. You're going to continue to go live, but you're not just going to show up and teach more content. You're going to do other things like interview people who you've worked with who've been really successful. You're going to do a Q&A. You might do a bonus piece of content, and you're going to private message people so that you actually make sales. So the follow-up and the close process is really, really important, and it is probably the number one skipped step in filling your group coaching programs. You cannot just show up, teach the pants off people, pop up a link to a sales page, and think you're going to fill your group coaching program. It is not going to work. So make sure you're closing the sale with proper follow-up. All right, last 2. You want to repeat this process about 6 to 8 times a year. So 6 to 8 times a year, which ends up being about every 6 to 8 weeks. So the process I teach, you're going to literally repeat this same process. You're going to teach the same masterclass in the same Facebook group, or you can do pop-up Facebook groups. You are not reinventing the wheel. This is what is going to create leadership for you. This is what is going to position you as the go-to person in your field and in your niche. This is the power of having one group coaching program that could easily become a 6-figure stream of income for you every year, ideally a multiple 6-figure stream of income for you. And if you're really going to go for it, it's going to be a 7-figure stream of income for you. One flagship group coaching program. One. But that comes through the power of repetition. When you do this the first time, that's the hardest is always the first. But once you do it one time, you're literally showing up every other time and you're repeating the same thing that you said before from a list of bullet points. I don't even have scripts. I have a page of bullet points when I do my launches now. And they're literally the most fun thing that I do. All right. And the last thing here, is consistently show up in between your launches. Let me be really clear. The sales are not made in the launch itself. You actually make the sales in all the weeks leading up to your launch. It's just like in professional sports. The winning team wins before the season ever starts. They win in the off season. They win in spring training based on how they exercised, fueled their bodies, fueled their minds, made decisions, showed up consistently, stayed in good condition. It's the same thing with your launches. So if you're just going to show up to make sales during your launches, you're not going to have the results that you can have. So consistently showing up, I teach my clients how to do this inside of our Momentum program and in our Mastermind program, so that when you do your launches, people are already poised and ready to say yes to you when you ask for them to join your flagship program. So I hope that you got exceptional value out of today's training. Like I said, I'm going to pop a link here. I would love for you to apply for our Group Coaching Mastery Masterclass. It starts next Monday. It is being held in a completely separate private Facebook group, and we're taking applications because I want to make sure that you are at a place where it makes sense in your business for you to be moving in the direction of group coaching programs. It's going to be a small group. It's going to be an intimate group of people. I'm going to be there right with you every single step of the way. I teach my best content inside of this. I'm going to help you craft over the 5 days the most irresistible group coaching, high-ticket group coaching program. And then inside of our program Momentum, if you choose to join us there, that's where we teach you our whole entire strategy and methodology for marketing, for sales, for lead generation. And everything I teach inside of there is all organic. I'm not teaching you paid crazy funnels inside of that program. It is very much for you to be creating, marketing, filling, selling, and delivering your group coaching program. So I'll pop a link into that. Go ahead and get yourself in, apply for it. It is going to set off a messenger bot, so your application is going to be happening inside of private messenger. So don't be alarmed by that when you click the link and you're in messenger. And it's set up automatically, but I do go in there and chat with you as well a little bit too, so we can already be building the relationship with each other in messenger. Awesome, everybody. I would love to hear what your number one takeaway was, so go ahead and pop that into the comments. I'm going to come back in and read everything that you put in the comments and come back and respond. And I will see you inside of the group all week long, and I look forward to seeing those of you who want to join us in our 5-day Group Coaching Mastery Masterclass. Have a great Monday, everybody. Bye.